Well, overall, I think this is a nice set. The stickers seem to have the proper color matching. I didn't put them on just because I am going to be changing this build-up. Minifigs are pretty good. It's nice that we get two regular Phase 2 501st troopers, even if they do have the helmet holes. Even with the helmet holes, it still gives you more flexibility with building your army with the helmet attachments. There's a couple little nitpicks that I have. Really, the main one I think is the pram. So they have this clear dish on the bottom, but the center of gravity is way to the front of that. So you can get it to balance on the dish, but if your surface isn't like really flat or sloped in the opposite way, and if you just set it down, it's going to tip over. It doesn't have the stability that you would expect. I think that you can fix this by offsetting the dish towards the front a little bit, but then you have the issue that now it's going to want to tip to one side. So it's still, there's not really any improvement in the stability. You know, this really feels like a good set. The only problem for me is that what we really have here is a large build, a side build, 4 minifigures, which really is the same composition of a battle pack. Obviously, it's not a battle pack in functionality or in the minifig selection, because that's a big part of being a battle pack. But the set itself, the components all together, feel like the same amount you would get in a battle pack. And a battle pack would be $20 is the going rate these days. And this really doesn't feel like $30. Now, I did get this on discount. Pretty much all sets that I get on discount. The only exceptions are sometimes if I want something right away, I will get it straight from Lego to get the points. But anything that is a battle pack or I'm getting more than one of, I always wait until I find it on discount. So all of the $20 battle packs, I'm always getting those for 15 or maybe 12. I know some places you can get better, but generally 15 is what Walmart does, and sometimes you can find them for a little bit cheaper at Target. Now, the BARC Speeder feels oversized to me. It is a really nice BARC Speeder, but there's something to be said for the proportions of it. Now, obviously, Lego minifigures are not anatomically proportionally correct. The legs, arms, torso, head, they're not perfect compared to the rest of the body parts. But it still is very distinctly a figure. And if you compare it to the BARC Speeder, really the minifigure should be probably twice as tall for it to be proportionally correct to the BARC Speeder. Like, this whole top above the seat should be from the waist up of the clone trooper or the Jedi, and then his legs should be sticking out down there. That's just how big the BARC Speeder is. And you can tell that a bit in the sidecar, because the sidecar feels really oversized if you set a minifigure there. But that's because the sidecar is pretty much proportionally accurate towards the speeder bike itself, and the speeder bike is just oversized. Now, really, I think every speeder bike in recent history has been oversized. They had the nice design in the first 501st Battle Pack, and then they've been making either a color swapped version of that for the Bad Batch shuttle, or something that is different and has more detail, but overall it is the same size, or almost the same size in this case. But to me, the perfect BARC Speeder, proportionately, was the one from the Clone Battle Pack that we had in, I think it was 2014. And there's a little bit of nostalgia for me because that was my first Clone Battle Pack, but proportionally, that BARC Speeder was a lot closer to minifig proportions than anything that we're getting now. So mainly, the BARC Speeders, just in general these days, being oversized is the issue, and then the pram tipping over with the little support that they give it it fits just fine on the sidecar. But they did make a point of giving it a platform, and that platform doesn't actually effectively work. Overall, I think this is a generally good set. It's definitely a good idea, but it is something that I will be scaling down the speeder and the sidecar. The pram is a good size. There's not really anything you can scale down about it, but I will be scaling down the main build, and then we'll see how it feels. But definitely a $20 set, not a $30. So anyways, those are my thoughts on this.